Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Factorio. Get one stack each, just so that I can, if necessary, build on my own. I will get only these two chests. Roboports, I'm fine with just 5 on me. Let's say I want to do that. Do I need anything else? Yes. Say I want 50 of those. I'm not gonna keep those on me though. I don't know if I need anything else. I just realized I want to put one more item on the mall. And that is repair packs. 100. Now, why is this not working? Not enough gears. Is this like fully depleted? Yes, it is. It is an expected side effect. This is actually draining, fully draining the belt, and I'm actually not providing a full lane anymore. Not ideal. And this is already out of range, so let's see connection here. Yes, this is all one big happy network. That means I can do this here, and let's get the second belt of iron in. I was just looking earlier, where can I actually get that belt through? I have some of those. I guess there's gonna be 2 belts coming through here, and then just squeeze it down the line. Let's do a bit of trashing. I don't want those anymore. I just have very few mining drills. Let's get 80, maybe? I know it's somewhere around here, I just cannot see it. How are my bots doing? The bots, I have plenty. Did that fulfill the request? No. And is that because I do not have gears? Most likely. Oh, there it... I was standing literally on top of it. Oh, it's because I do not have electric circuits. Okay, time to upgrade the electric circuits, and I actually want to get some of these as well. Red circuits, that should be fully drained. Now, luckily, I still have one more trick up my sleeve. That trick being that belt. And iron plates. Okay, I can do it like this now. Yeah. Oh. Well, hello there. How much? 77? Doesn't matter. I want to properly clean everything here. No, no, no. I want that belt. Don't you dare get rid of that belt. Anyway, yeah, that's very dead now. And that's dead because I don't have iron. I guess I do not put efficiency modules in. That's fine. I don't need efficiency modules anyway. Okay, let's zoom out a bit, figure out where I'm actually going. And I want... at least 60. I'm gonna go with like 70. 13 times 4. 83. That's good. This should get plotted relatively fast. Did I get stuck? I got stuck. Okay, this is working now. I wanted to bring those out slightly because there's a couple more belts over there that I want to capture. And all of this is gonna go into 2 belts. Is this fully needed? I do not know, but I will keep using this pattern. And I have a cliff here. I'll traverse maybe like that. I don't need to use bots for this. I can mess it up on my own just well. I'll run parallel. Of course I managed to get right where I have a pipe. Because why wouldn't I? And I planned a bit ahead. And I did decide to go with exploration first before doing anything more fancy, let's say, over here. Really? I am out of regular belt. Can I get some? Sure, I can get a bit. I didn't need that much anyway, because we are converting to red belt from here on. Carefully squeeze this one through. Make sure we don't fully cut the power over there. Can I get this one the way through? I can, but I am out of undergrounds. You produce any undergrounds? Oh, yeah, there's undergrounds and splitters stocked in the... Is that needed? Doesn't seem so. Doesn't look that way, so let's just go ahead with no. Is that needed? Yes. Oh, let's connect that here. Of course, this happens. So this is a yellow belt. I can squeeze the red belt through here like this. Still a yellow belt, so I can do this. Let's just monitor, see what's happening here. Not that many kills, it's still very chill. I need this one over here. I am in a bit in resource conservation mode, as you can probably see. And this is the reason. I actually finally ran out of belt. And the bots have not produced belt yet. Well, I have some undergrounds that I can use to help up here a bit. On the long term, that is substantially more expensive. But for now, it's gonna give me that extra bit of belt to finish this setup. I was wondering what's happening there. So this will eventually get enough resources. Right now gears is the main problem. What's this belt? Why is it empty? Oh, it's empty because there's no steel anywhere. And to that I say fair enough. Makes sense to be empty. Okay, this was a good setup, but it's time to go. It served its purpose. I'm actually gonna decommission something for once. need to get rid of the excess in my inventory, because it is quite a lot. Engines, I do not want engines. I want some of those, I don't want the bot. Is there anything else we can consider excess? Sure, that goes away, that goes away. I will make a box. Not there, let's do it here. A 50, let's call it 2k. I'll keep one stack on me. Not good that that's out of power. I need this to be operational. I can do some manual belt. Now I do want to go something like this. Can I do this? Yeah, seems to still be good. Okay, so that is extra iron. That is actually 2 belts of iron. No. We don't do that here. And I want to output this one as well. Input priority makes no sense. But this should drastically help my green chip production. And as such, everything else in the base. Finally, lab research speed. That only took like forever. Because I am missing that. What am I missing here? What? Oh, yes. Steel. Ever so elusive resource. Have I finished here? Somewhat. The belt is not fully saturated. Now I'm gonna do something dodgy, but I'll do it nonetheless. Well, I could look at bringing another belt here. I have 80, two full red belts. This is 65 per second because I have productivity, so 30 times 0.65 is that's 1 per 0.65, 1 at 0.65 seconds. One over 0.65, 1 over 0.65 is 1.5, so 30 over 1.5 is 120, roughly. This is 80, so this is actually almost 2 full belts. I'm actually looking to see 150, 188. 400. That's 800 to get it to here and another 300 to get it all the way there. That is way too much. I should give the bots some... no power. Oh, because I'm out of power poles as well. Okay, these are all good. Now what I'm gonna do, I said it's gonna be extremely dodgy, but it is what it is. This is probably lack of red circuits. It is gonna be some extra steel. And in the end, that is the important part. Now, how do I want to do that? Let's just hook it there. That will eventually fill out. And let's queue Fulgora. Now, it's gonna take a bit of time for that to actually resolve. And in the meantime, well, we need to start planning getting to Fulgora. In order to do that, first order of business is to make one more of these things. Space platform starter packs. Which will put a serious dent in my already dwindling steel production. Maybe I should invest into some productivity technologies. Well, still productivity is quite a big one, so let's do that. If this is ever gonna recover. Although, why are red chips so bad? Like this? This is struggling both on steel and on red chips. Low power? No. How much are you consuming? 0.25. I do not output a full lane, so there's no point in upgrading. Anyway, my rocket is over here. I have... oh yes. Do not take my modules. So I want 100 of those. I want 200 of these, and I want 200 of these. Sure, let's make it 200 all. And get this. I don't want to deliver cargo, I want to build a new space platform. Now, this is gonna be a very generic ship right now. I'm not gonna build a second one just yet. Resources are still somewhat scarce. And let's call this a travel ship. Create it here. Rocket is gonna launch. We'll talk a bit more about how the design of that later, but we can actually see steel on the belt. And this one has finally completed. So we've used quite a bit of resources. Some of these things are resource intensive AF, so it is expected, but this is not good. What did I do here? Goes here, goes here. That was not ideal. Also, what's happening here? I've missed a belt. Potentially I've missed more belts over here. Hopefully not. We'll see. Do you have repair packs? Did I ever set up repair here? Yes, I did. That's good. There were some attacks over here. There is no coverage there. Right. Bricks. I never got around to doing this. Not a lot to do, but how much do I want to store? Maybe 500 just to have something there. And I thought about how we're gonna approach planets. And, well, basically, I want to do it the interesting way. I think that for me at least, one of the better experiences of the game is at the very beginning. The most enjoyable parts of the game is at the very beginning, where we start with nothing and we build. We build until we have a magnificent base. And because of that, this is fully dead. That's okay to be dead. I will drop on the first 3 planets with nothing. 4th planet, Quilus, needs to have something to... you're heavily dependent on continuously importing materials there. But that is not the case for the first 3 planets, and I'm actually gonna play them without anything. I think that's the most fun. This is useless, that means I can just pick this one up. Not completely useless, but can easily be fixed. Get rid of that, and well, hopefully now that is gonna actually start working. Is this in coverage? No, it isn't. Now it's gonna be. Okay. Did I say I have iron and steel? No, I do not. It is gonna drain so fast. Did it already drain? Pick up about 100. And it's gonna keep picking up. Anyway. I have two things I can do now. I'll probably keep this one going for maybe half an hour more. And as I was saying, two main things come to mind. Doing the spaceship for traveling to Fulgora or doing rails. Not actually plotting down rails, but doing a rail blueprint. I've actually took some inspiration from a few systems, but I do want to try to create my own flavor of rails, if that's even possible, and play around with the train automation a bit. For train automation, I actually haven't. I've looked a bit at the new things that were added. Let's. Really, I cannot just randomly plot. So that's a thing. Need a provider chest over here. I'll do the same settings. I don't know if I actually saved time. I'll do the same settings like this one. And this should provide me a couple of rails. So the main interesting things that were added were on trains, not on stations. There are a few things added on stations as well, don't get me wrong. Mainly train limit, it's cool. Priority is cool. This is extremely important, and we will need to use that. But interrupts are a huge thing now. They're literally game changers. Stations, there's a few new conditions here, but the fact that we can add interrupts is gonna be what we're gonna be primarily using. Let's get rid of everything for now. I don't want things in my inventory. Okay, it took a very long time to pick up the locomotive, but it works, that's important. But in the end, I think I'll go with just designing a spaceship. And to some extent, it might look somewhat similar to what we have here, actually. But there's gonna be a couple of additional twists and turns. Well, first of all, this is going to look exactly the same. I am gonna get resources and I'm gonna store them over here. I'm not gonna build the most efficient space-wise design, the most shiny looking design, but I'm gonna do something that is functional enough. Now, I'm not gonna store iron plates as I'm doing here. And because of that, I actually do not need the full lane. I'm just trying to figure out where I want to place it. Actually, let's start with the new thing. So one of the technologies that we've researched are thrusters. And the way thrusters work is you get two types of fuel, the red one and the blue one. You mix them together in the thruster and you make thrust. There is a very interesting mechanic here. I'm not gonna go too much into detail, but we need to make those two things. And the way we make those two things is in chemical plants. So what I'm gonna have here is chemical plants. That's gonna be output. That's gonna be output belt. I think I'll do it something like this. Might be a bit overkill, maybe. But, well, this is thruster fuel. This produces 75 thruster fuel with and consumes water and carbon. And on the other hand, this one consumes iron ore and water. So both consume water. Water will come from ice melting. And if we look at the output here, this is 20 per second. This is actually just 5 per second. That's a bit of a... So that means this one can cover 4 of these, and 4 of these are gonna be more than enough for us to move around. Let's do this setup in its entirety right now. So this one will connect like this. Let's fill all of this with tiling. I will need it all anyway. This is gonna create a bit of excess space over here, but one, two, three, four. This should reach, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, input and output. I don't want this to be picking off the side, so this goes over here like this. And I will actually move this a bit further down. Or for now, let's actually keep it as compact as possible. There is very little motivation to keep the ship compact vertically. There is very high motivation to keep the ship compact horizontally. I'll get to that maybe a bit later, but for now, I'll do it like this. This will feed ice. And this one will feed iron. Filters, what was I doing there? And this one will feed carbon. Carbon, I think, was the one that I was needing for this one. Now, actually this... Let's simplify this even a bit more. There's no need for a sushi belt anymore. I usually did a sushi belt with the 3 ingredients, but right now this is actually more than enough. Our regular inserters should be again more than enough. I am wondering if I can spare a few of these, to be honest. And it is a question. It is a pretty big question. Unfortunately, I cannot do that because this is not fully symmetrical. Sure, I guess this is kind of okay-ish. That's even better. And I actually don't know how many thrusters I want to use for this setup. It's a bit of a mix and match. I guess I will do... I'll do it like this. Now, the way I like to set up these thrusters is using this pattern. Is this on the center? I guess this is actually on the center. And these do not fully chain, but you do get chaining on this level. So as long as I hook up these things and at the very end do like this, everything should be fed. So this is fed red from here, blue from here in these two. This is red here. This is gonna put red into this one, and blue is gonna come from this one, and again red here, and blue here, and blue here. That's good. So now all I need to do is actually do a couple of undergrounds, literally a couple of undergrounds, and connect here, and I will put just one pump over here. Now these need to be somewhat protected. So far we only had the small asteroids. We do see a few bigger ones in the background as a preview of what's to come. My base still working. This is still gonna fully drain everything that we're throwing here, but how are things otherwise? What's missing? This is now fully operational. We're still missing reds. This is working at full capacity. How many do I have? 24. 24 over 4, that's 6. So that this is 7.5. I cannot really push for more. So greens here are backing up. So if I increase to 15, let's increase to 15. See what's gonna happen. Those inserters will not make any sort of sense. Come on, work. Okay, so this needs to come over here. 1, 2. Okay, copper is connected. This is already connected. And actually, these inserters need to be copied one to one. That's feed, that's output. And this needs to be upgraded to a red. So that's red. This is red. Obviously, all of them need to be upgraded. Not just... That is very likely not enough. Let's see how many things bots will be able to give me. Do I have anything in this chest? I have nothing. Well, let's get all of those. Who knows, I might actually use them at some point. I have... Really, I have just 2? Actually have to keep stealing from there. That's a bit embarrassing. Fast? Yes. I think that was the middle point. How many? I can support 12. Yes, I can support 12. Where is 12? 12 is here. So is this fast transport belt? Yeah, that's a bit over 12. So this should be full belt here. Input priority left. Do a full belt here. So this will actually have the capability to fully drain both belts. And let's see, input priority, output priority. So I want the input to be at the top and output at the bottom. What's this for? Yeah, that's irrelevant. Input top, output at the bottom. This will mean that this has full priority. So our red production should be better. Hopefully this will have some sort of an impact on our blue science, which is now kind of dead. I really wish I would have had installed the mod that gives me productivity for a bunch of factories, not just one. This basically drains 0.6, 0.06. I have 24 of these. That's 1.4 per second. And if I divide 1.44 by... So this divided by... how much? 0. That is 10 factories. Not 10 factories, it's 12 factories. Which is substantially more than what I have here. But that does mean that half of the production here should be more enough to satisfy that. Not enough to satisfy what's being used here. This is 0.75 times 6. I don't have those types of numbers, but back to our ship design. This is rocket. I do have this pump here. It's not just for aesthetic purposes. Which one am I looking for? I think I want the arithmetic combinator. Is it a decider? I want to do a test. I actually haven't set this one up in a very long time. So before I do it on the spaceship, I want to do it here. Each less than 60, and I want to do each, and I want this to give me a signal on 0. So yeah, this is the setup that I'm looking for. Basically, I'm just creating a counter here, a timer, a clock. I can set this clock to reset at any interval that I want. This is basically rendering frames, UPS, I believe. And with this, I can say that I want you to work when we reach 0. Actually, let's do it at the middle of the tick for now. I don't know, this will never reach 0, I believe. It might reach 0 when it resets. Let's see, does this ever work? It never reaches 0, so it's never gonna reach 60? Is it gonna reach 60? And if we increase this to like 200, it should work substantially slower. Okay, this was the proof of concept that I wanted to do. So we cannot set this to 0, but we can set it to 60. So when it actually reaches the end of the interval, we'll let some fluid pass. Now, why is that? We can actually go to Fulgora now, but we still have quite a bit of prep work to do. Well, actually not that much, but yeah. The reason is that we do not really want these thrusters to work at full speed. And we do not want the thrusters to work at full speed for two reasons. First of all, if we go in here, in Factoriopedia, we actually see that the thrusters are most efficient at 6 fluid consumption per second when they produce a meager 10 Newton meters. Mega newtons? I guess mega newtons. And they're at 51 capacity when they produce 51% efficiency when they produce 102. So ideally, we would have just 6 fluid per second and way more engines and have 100% efficiency than wasting fuel at this speed. But that's gonna take way too many engines, like it would be 1 to 10 ratio. So we have to hit a balance, and this is basically exactly what this is gonna do. We're gonna look at keeping the thruster at, I don't know if, so it's not a it's not a straight curve for thrust. We hit here, it grows a bit fast and then it plateaus off. So the last bit is, you don't really want to have the engines function at that power. I think about, this is fluid usage. Maybe that fluid usage is linear, efficiency is linear, but this one isn't. And the most efficient part of the curve, I think, might be somewhere around here, around here-ish. So maybe keep it at around 60%. When filled to 40%. High efficiency. Yeah, maybe somewhere within this range. We'll have to play with it. So we'll just have to play with this input constant to see how much fuel we feed. But this is the propulsion system. And you'll see that I'll tend to build vertically, not horizontally. And the reason for that is that there are some very interesting mechanics in space. One of them is that the width of the platform actually drastically impacts the speed that the platform moves at. The length doesn't impact at all. There's actually three factors that impact the speed. One is thrust, the other one is the width of the platform, and the third one, you'll see that we have weight here. The weight is also, and everything that we place will have a weight. The weight also directly impacts how things work. Anyway, that being said, this is gonna work slightly differently now. Still the same principle, don't get me wrong. This is not gonna change. Let's get our constant combinator as well. I don't want to set those constants over and over again. Way less of this. This is 4 stacks. This is... Am I storing this? No, I'm not actually storing this, but I will store ammo. And I want to store at least 500 ammo. Ice cubes. I'll limit these to all of them to 300. I do not store that. And I still want... The belt is going to be slightly longer, so we'll have to recalculate those numbers. Okay, those are connected, and what else? I think I'll use that type of setup. Is that at least somewhat balanced? Yes, it is. Doesn't really matter how balanced it is. It's not like it's gonna go left or right. It's just trying to make it sound like I care about aesthetics, at least a bit. I do care to some extent. Last bit is going to be ammo production. Now, let's see, where do I have ammo? I am producing ammo over here. So this is consuming 2 per second and producing 0.5 per second. I'm thinking I want 3 of these. Is 3 of these too much? Let's see. Actually, first of all, this. If this is working at full speed, and I'm actually gonna slightly change this again. You'll see why in just a second. But let's say that this is working at full speed. This is giving me 10 per second. This is consuming 2 per second, so I have 8 per second left. And if I go back here, this is consuming 2 per second, so I want to be able to get 4 of these. In order to get... this is 1 to 1. In order to get iron, this is... Oh wow. This is painful. It's what it is. So 8 over 0.62. Not gonna do this type of division at this hour in my head. 12, almost 13. What does that even look like, 13 of these? One, two. So I want the output to be there. The lane to be on that corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 8 per second, we're still in yellow belt territory. But the thing is, I want just 4 machines. Actually, I was looking at the wrong type of machine. This consumes 5 per second, so I want just 1, maybe 2 of these. Let's say 2 of these. Just to keep it somewhat symmetrical. So this is gonna be like this, and I actually want to pass the ammo through before then taking the ammo out and doing this to the ammo. Okay, that means that I can do this. If this is a red belt, no, that doesn't work. This needs to be one further apart, and this is gonna be the output belt. So this is one further apart as well. This belt ends over here, and this one comes over here. Sure, let's go with that. How much energy is this consuming? This is... I might have to go prod 2s on this. But this is consuming, let's say, minus 20%. Let's say this is gonna consume 70. So I'm gonna have 70 times 14. 70 times 14. That's almost 1 megawatt just in the smelters. And there's gonna be an additional drain on this, on the inserters. Um, I think that this is enough. You're gonna filter. Can I filter? No, I cannot filter. It's not a good idea to filter. I have to see. I don't fully remember how priority is done, so I'll actually have to adjust this on the fly. But these are gonna look something like this. And the reason for that is because I want to actually have at least this bit of space as a buffer. I might need to turn this over here like this, actually. So this is gonna act as a buff. No, this is not gonna work the way I want it to work. This is gonna be the same. I'll figure this out once asteroids are on the belt. But basically, this is gonna be our setup, more or less. With some additional details here. So the front of the ship needs to be fully packed with turrets to some extent. Let's see, the bounds. The bound here is actually slightly bigger. I kind of need to cover everything in the front. It makes no sense not to cover. I do not want this to be way in front of the turrets, but I do want to have at least one turret further back. So maybe like that. And maybe like that. Where's gonna be the corner here? So this is the corner. This is going to be the corner turret. So that there's a grabber here. I will do it like this. If necessary, I can double up here. That's not a big deal. Another grabber over here, and I'll just that was a bit off, but it's okay. Not gonna matter all that much in the end. One, two, three, four, five. That's good. And it's actually good to have. I was actually thinking that I have too much extra space. So let's move this one further out. Basically, all of this extra space will be I can, I guess, move this. I need to move this further out. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just. I think that the buffer is enough. So let's see how many solar panels I can actually fit in here. That's gonna be the main point of contention. If I have enough solar panels to feed all of the things. That's not needed. Theoretically, this is not needed either. So I can move them one further out. I need to be a bit careful because I do need to one there, one here, and how many over here? Maybe, okay, that's not good. This is like that, that's like this. Let's do this. And I guess put one asteroid grabber, and pretty sure I don't need this many, but just to have some. So asteroid grabber, a few turrets in strategic places, and this is primarily to make sure that I'll just fill everything. This needs to be filled as well. Maybe couple of things can be optimized here and there, but not much. Okay, that can be like that. I can remove one there. I can remove one on each side. One there, and I do need to make. I cannot have gaps in the platform, so yeah, that one's not gonna work. So it's like this. The setup is gonna be the same to the one that I have over here. Can this reach? No. So this is the only input. The other one needs to be combined in the output. So this signal needs to go in the output somehow. And then this is gonna be set filters. Now I just need to daisy chain. Okay, let's do set filters first. Daisy chain this signal all over the place. Yeah, that's annoying. Make sure that we have inputs and outputs. Nope, the other way around. In, out. There's an out there. Out, in. And oh yes, obviously we need inputs. So these are inputs and these are outputs. Okay, this is output. Those look good. These are inputs. Everything looks good. That doesn't look good. This looks good now. And that's gonna work at a fairly high speed. I might even go with these. That's out. That's out. How much did I say that's gonna produce? Did I remove it? This I hope I actually removed it. But let's look at that again. So this is producing 225 per second. This is 3. Okay, one blue should be good enough. For both input and output. Filter on yellow ammo. And oh. Oh? Oh, Roboport coverage over... that's an area where I don't have Roboport coverage. A bit unideal. Let's Salvage some bots. I don't want to use mine. Did I have that few bots on me? Logistics, plenty. Construction, I have plenty of construction bots too. This is not functional. Okay, that's 10 bots. Repair packs. Do I have some repair packs? Let's get some. It was one of the last ones that I've placed down. Plastic is dead. Yeah, that was meant to happen sooner or later. Usually when I try to increase red chips, obviously. But that is something for another day. Right now, off. Yeah, I do not have that in my blueprint. Do every other, I guess. Come on, somebody. They're actually gonna let me do rocks manually. These bastards. 100% I'm requesting those. Let's see. This goes over you. That is a U if I ever saw one. Middle of the forest. Okay. Walls. Some. Bots. Some. Repair packs. Quite a few. Okay. That should take care of that. Hey Eleanor. Thanks for joining. Back over here, we had a few more things to settle. Pretty sure there were a few more things to settle. Yes. This needs to actually look like this. So ammo is on the inner side, on the outer side of the belt. Asteroids on the inner side of the belt. We're always outputting on the inner side, just making sure of that. Here we're not outputting back. There is I'm just gonna do it like this for now. Single-sided belts. If I need to get more than a single side, let's upgrade this to red. At least this part, half of it, or a bit more half is red. This doesn't need to be red because it's gonna be properly balanced. I'm producing 10 per second, so that should be alright. Now, um, reds are totally dead. I actually have a bit of spare belt, which I find hilarious. What I want to do is... This is basically almost the full extent of the mall, so I don't care what's happening below. But I want to start crafting a couple of efficiency and a couple of efficiency 2s. Let's say to 100. Now, will this be able to deliver? We'll see. We'll see how much we can actually get, but I want to do prod 2s on this because electricity is gonna be scarce. And I actually want to try doing a few more productivities. Quality is what I wanted to say. We'll see. We'll see how the odds are gonna look like. Let's steal some of those. Get things ranking. And while that's happening, we are substantially past the 2-hour marker that I wanted to have for this stream, so we'll probably end it here. This is gonna be our spaceship for now. It's gonna have a bit of decent storage, decent propulsion, very good defenses. I think that I've overproduced actually here. My other spaceship I think had just 4 smelters and one of these, or 2 maybe. 2 would have made no sense. Just one of these, and it was holding up just fine. Now this needs to be connected here. Did I set a signal for ammo? Yes. Enable, disable. Ammo. Ammo is less than 0. Now there's gonna be something that I'll need to adjust. So this is gonna read belt contents. How is this going to work? So the problem is that this is outputting everything that's on the belt. Is this actually connected? Yes, it is connected. The big problem is that this is gonna output the ammo on the belt as well. So I'll actually have to increase this I'll have to adjust this 500 number to be... This is gonna function in the same regime as these ones, actually. am I saying? Can I get a red from here? Here as well. This is just red. So this should actually work just fine now. And with that, we probably have room for one more engine here, but 5 engines should be more than enough. This is gonna be the ship that we're gonna be using. Obviously need 1.3k foundation. How much foundation do I have here? I was still limiting this to 200. 1k foundation. So steel is gonna go down again. I do have quite a bit stockpiled. Everything is dead. That's quite impressive. Are all of these working? Oil is dead. I guess this is the best that these ones can produce. So we'll just have to hook up. Yeah, this one has gone down a bit. We'll just hook up more oil. That's not a big problem. But not in this episode. I think that this is enough for today. I will need to stay here and babysit this a bit. Oh, I actually had a very good roll in the first attempt. Quality 2. The goal is actually stop this for now. And do I stop this? Do I care about quality right now? No, I don't care about quality on these ones. These ones need to go. I do want to try to roll a bit better quality on solar panels, maybe on some of the assembly machines. We'll see. That being said, thank you all very much for watching. Thank you for joining the stream. I will see you here next time.